Hey everyone, today we're counting down the top 15 most unusual historical artifacts. Now each of these items offers a unique glimpse into the past, revealing stories and secrets that continue to puzzle and fascinate people. Let's start with number 15, the Roman cleats. Now archaeologists have recently uncovered a 2,000-year-old Roman sandal, or caliga, near an ancient military fort, Oberstim, in Bavaria, Germany. This discovery happened during excavation work at a civilian settlement on the outskirts of the Roman fort, which dates back between 60 and 130 AD. Now, the caliga, identified using X-ray imaging, was worn by a Roman soldier and featured iron nails on the bottom for traction, resembling modern-day cleats. This particular caliga was remarkably well preserved, having been found at the bottom of a well. Now, the unique conditions at the well's bottom likely contributed to that state of preservation, making such finds extremely rare. The Roman Empire, which lasted from around 27 BC to 476 AD, saw a gradual evolution in military footwear. The caligae were open-toed sandals with hobnails for added durability and traction, perfect for the varied and often harsh terrains encountered by the Roman soldiers. This discovery not only highlights the practicality and ingenuity of Roman military equipment, but it also draws a fascinating parallel to modern-day sports cleats. Both types of footwear were designed with similar goals in mind, providing grip, stability, and protection to the wearer. The Roman caliga, much like modern cleats, it was an essential accessory for those who needed to maintain their footing on difficult terrain, showcasing the timeless nature of effective design in footwear. Number 14. Ubaid Lizard Men. The discovery of these lizard men figurines at Tel al-Ubaid in Iraq has sparked considerable intrigue and speculation within certain archaeological circles. Dating back approximately 7,000 years, these artifacts depict humanoid figures with reptilian features, presenting a puzzling mystery. The Ubaidian culture, spanning from 4000 to 5500 BC, is known for its advancements in architecture, agriculture, and even social organization. Their settlements featured large T-shaped houses, paved streets, and evidence of complex societal structures. The figurines from this place, as well as from other sites like and Eridu, depict a humanoid figure with elongated head, almond-shaped eyes, and lizard-like noses. Well, some female figurines are also depicted in maternal poses, nursing babies that also exhibit these reptilian characteristics. Archaeologists have debated whether these figurines served a ritualistic or symbolic purpose, and given their diverse poses and inclusion of reptilian features, the presence of these figurines alongside more conventional depictions suggests that they held significant cultural or religious importance. The serpent motif, often linked to wisdom, fertility, or the underworld realm, raises the question of whether there might be a connection between these symbols and the lizard-like representations found in these artifacts. Well, despite extensive study and speculation, the exact meaning and purpose of these lizard men figurines remains mysterious. Number 13. The Bailong Pipes. So according to local legend, Mount Bailong in the Qinghai province of China is an ancient extraterrestrial laboratory. The mountain's peak is crowned with a mysterious pyramid, and at its base, these triangular entrances lead to hundreds of decayed metal pipe-like structures of unknown origin. These rusty tubes, ranging from needle size to about 16 inches in diameter, extend from deep within the mountain to a saltwater lake located 260 feet away. Many of the hollow pipes are uniform in size and appear to be placed with intention. Their deep embedding into the mountain wall and floor makes modern-day human handling unlikely. The mountain's surrounding environment is only occasionally visited by nomads, who presumably didn't possess advanced metallurgy skills, leading to speculation that the pipes were not formed by human hands. So then, who had a hand in their formation? Well, when scientists first examined the subterranean phenomenon, they found that these pipes were composed of 92% common minerals and metals, and 8% unknown materials. This unusual composition led to the hypothesis that these red-hued tubes might have been transported from outer space, possibly as part of an alien infrastructure project. This Martian theory gained substantial support, prompting the erection of a monument near the mountain, topped with a corroded satellite dish, symbolizing the extraterrestrial connection. More recent researchers, however, have proposed a different explanation. They believe that the metallic structures are actually fossilized tree root casts. These researchers argue that these rusted tubes resulted from the tree roots undergoing soil formation and transformation of soil into rock. Well, experiments have confirmed that the pipes do contain organic plant material and even microscopic tree rings. It is suggested that the overflow from an extinct lake once carried these roots to their current location. Number 12. The Gosford glyphs. For decades, the locals of New South Wales' Central Coast have debated the authenticity of a series of hieroglyphs carved into a hidden rock face in the Brisbane Water National Park. These carvings, known as the Gosford glyphs, have sparked intrigue and speculation due to their seemingly Egyptian origins. Explorers have often ventured into the tight gap between two sandstone rock faces to examine these hieroglyphs. Now, this narrow passage reveals symbols that are familiar to anyone knowledgeable about ancient Egypt, including an image of Anubis, the name of King Khufu enclosed in a cartouche, and various other symbols. Several theories have emerged regarding the origins of these glyphs. Some believe they were created by two Egyptian princes who were shipwrecked on the Australian continent. Others suggest that they may be the work of a creative local or reflect the Egyptology craze that swept the world following the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. Another possibility is that they were made as part of a decades-long prank. Well, the consensus among Egyptologists who have visited and studied the glyphs is that they're a hoax, citing numerous inconsistencies and errors. For instance, the hieroglyphs include a mix of ancient and modern symbols, some of which were not contemporaneously used in ancient Egypt. Additionally, the carving style and techniques don't match those of genuine ancient Egyptian artifacts. Well, despite all this, many local residents continue to believe in their authenticity, maintaining that the glyphs are an extraordinary and unexplained phenomenon. Number 11. The Fuente Magna. The Fuente Magna is a large stone vessel, likely a bowl, discovered in 1958 near Lake Titicaca in Bolivia. Adorned with beautifully engraved anthropomorphic characters and zoological motifs characteristic of the local culture, the bowl features two types of scripts, a Proto-Sumerian ancient alphabet and a local language of the ancient Pucara, a forerunner of the Tiwanaku civilization. This dual inscription has led to its nickname, the Rosetta Stone of the Americas. The Fuente Magna raises tantalizing questions about a possible connection between the Sumerians and the ancient inhabitants of the Andes, separated by thousands of miles. The bowl was found accidentally by a farmer on a private estate owned by the Magnon family. In 1960, the owners delivered it to the City Hall of La Paz in exchange for land near the capital. Around the same time, Bolivian archaeologist Max Zamora became aware of the artifact and attempted to decipher the unusual inscriptions. Zamora was unsuccessful, failing to recognize that the writing was a form of cuneiform text dating back some 5,000 years. Consequently, the Fuente Magna bowl languished in storage at the Museum of Precious Metals for some 40 years. Translations of the inscription suggest that the Fuente Magna bowl may have been used to make libations to the goddess Nia, requesting fertility. The figure on the Fuente Magna, depicted in a goddess pose with open arms and spread legs, supports Dr. Winter's translation. Bernardo Biados theorized that the Fuente Magna was crafted by Sumerian people who settled in Bolivia sometime after 2500 BC. He proposed that the Sumerian ships, known to sail the Indian subcontinent, may have made their way around South Africa and entered the ocean's currents leading from Africa to South America. But the bowl remains an enigma, its origins and inscriptions a subject of ongoing debate. Further archaeological and linguistic research is still needed to unravel the story behind this artifact. As scholars continue to explore its secrets, we may gain new insights into the interactions between great civilizations of the past and their far-reaching influence across the world. Number 10. The Klerksdorp Spheres. The Klerksdorp spheres, rounded objects found in pyrophyllite deposits around Ottosdal in South Africa, are by all accounts 3-billion-year-old rocks naturally formed by carbonate concretions. These tiny spheres, ranging in size from 0.5 to 10 centimeters, feature latitudinal grooves which were created when minerals formed in the spaces between sediments, much like crystals can naturally form precise shapes. Subsequent weathering left them as tiny balls with evenly spaced lines circumscribing them. Now, according to geologists, these spheres are the result of natural processes. The formation of these spheres can be explained by the process of concretion, where minerals precipitate from groundwater and then fill the spaces between sediments, forming the shapes. Despite the scientific explanation, though, the Klerksdorp spheres have become a hot topic among conspiracy theorists, who believe the spheres are too perfect to have been formed naturally. Since their first discovery in South African mines, many have speculated that their spheres are proof of ancient aliens or advanced prehistoric civilization. One unverified story that fueled these speculations involves a man allegedly bringing one of the spheres to NASA. According to the tale, NASA supposedly tested the stone and concluded it could only have been made in zero gravity due to its perfect balance. However, there's no documentation or credible evidence to support their story. Close examination of the sphere has disproved claims of perfect balance and harder-than-steel properties. While the spheres have been used to support pseudo-archaeological claims suggesting that intelligent beings roamed the Earth 3 billion years ago, creating the spheres for religious, military, or technological purposes. Some even claim the spheres were an ancient form of information technology made by a pre-human civilization millions of years ago. Number 9. White Shaman Rock. On the border between southwestern Texas in the U.S. and northwestern Coahuila in Mexico lies the archaeological region known as Lower Pecos River. It contains more than 2,000 sites dating back to up to 10,000 years. Among these, more than 300 sites are rich with ancient pictographs, and the most famous of these is the White Shaman Cave. Researchers studying the area have categorized 3 different types of prehistoric rock paintings: Pecos River, red monochrome, and red linear. The White Shaman Cave, which features a stunning pictograph dating back 4,000 years, was created in the Pecos River style and is considered among the most impressive rock paintings in the world. The paintings, which were older than initially expected, are realistic representations of human figures and animals, including canines, felines, birds, deer, rabbits, snakes, and many others. For researchers, it was like finding the Rosetta Stone to the world of the tribes of hunters who lived in this area thousands of years ago. Analysis of the paintings has allowed researchers to decode the complicated system of symbolism used by the artists to share messages. The site currently belongs to the Rock Art Foundation, but Carolyn Boyd conducted significant research on the paintings. Previously, archaeologists believed that the pictures in the White Shaman Cave were not related to each other. However, when Boyd started to sketch and study them once more, she discovered that they depict much more than a few presentations of forgotten rituals. According to Boyd, the paintings present a complicated ceremony or belief system, and they're all connected. Studying similar paintings, she concluded that the pictures show the shaman's journey into the underworld. Despite extensive research, the true nature of this technology and methods used to create these intricate and durable artworks remain elusive. Number 8. Naslaa Rock. Theories abound about the origins of the Naslaa rock formation, but the genesis of this massive geological phenomenon is likely to remain a mystery. It's located in Saudi Arabia's Tamya Oasis, the site of Saudi Arabia's oldest human settlement. Naslaa is comprised of twin sandstone rocks, balanced atop naturally formed pedestals with a smooth gap running vertically between them, so precise it looks as if it was created with a laser beam. Scientists can't explain exactly how the 4,000-year-old geological formation was split down the middle, but the side-by-side boulders, each 20 feet tall, have the additional lure of visible petroglyphs that are thousands of years old. When you have a rock such as this, conspiracy theories will abound, considering that the formation looks as if it's been cut by a well-aimed laser. Some believe that this is the work of alien technology. More grounded theories will tell you the rock sits upon a fault line. This theory posits the split in the rock was created when a weak spot was affected by a shift in tectonic plates. Another theory posits that a joint within the rock may have split. A joint is an area within rock, in this case sandstone, that becomes worn away and then separates the larger formation. A freeze-thaw weather cycle could be credited with its formation, according to a third theory. If water seeped into the ancient boulder when it was still in one piece, then froze and expanded and later thawed, a crack would have formed and eventually divided the boulder. Well, whatever the cause of the split, the incredibly smooth edges were probably once jagged, then worn down and polished by thousands of years of blowing sand. Nature seems to be the most creative artist of all. Moving on to number 7, the Cochno Stone. The Cochno Stone, located in West Dunbartonshire in Scotland, is a remarkable archaeological treasure. Adorned with a multitude of grooved spirals, carved indentations, geometric shapes, and enigmatic patterns, it's lauded as the finest example of Bronze Age cup and ring carvings in Europe. For the past 50 years, however, this renowned stone has laid buried beneath several feet of earth and vegetation, a measure taken to shield it from vandalism. Now plans are underway to unearth the Cochno stone once again for an in-depth study aimed at deciphering its symbols. Discovered in 1887 by Reverend James Harvey on farmland near what is now the Fifley housing estate on the edge of Clydebank, the Cochno stone measures 42 feet by 26 feet and has over 90 carved indentation known as cup and ring marks. These marks, which are a hallmark of prehistoric art, consist of concave depressions carved into rock surfaces, often surrounded by concentric circles. This form of decoration appears as a petroglyph on natural boulders and outcrops and on megaliths such as slab cists, stone circles, and passage graves. The original meanings behind the carvings on the Cochno stone are lost to history, but numerous theories have emerged. Some suggest the markings represent an ancient form of writing, while others propose they held religious or spiritual significance and served as boundary markers, were star maps, or were purely decorative. The placement of carved stones often provides clues to their potential function. Frequently, such rock carvings are found near or incorporated into cairns and burial mounds, hinting at connections to burial practices and beliefs in an afterlife. Similarly, symbols on standing stones at stone circles suggest that these sites were used for religious and ritual purposes. Number 6. The Claw of Mount Owen. Nearly 3 decades ago, a team of archaeologists made a startling discovery deep within the dark recesses of a cave system on Mount Owen in New Zealand. As they navigated the caves, their flashlights illuminated an object that seemed too bizarre to be real. A gigantic claw still encased in flesh and scaly skin, eerily reminiscent of a dinosaur appendage. Despite its ancient origins, though, the claw appeared so well preserved that it seemed as if it belonged to a creature that had only perished recently. Upon retrieving the claw and conducting thorough analysis, the archaeologists unveiled a fascinating revelation. This remarkable find was the 3,300-year-old mummified remains of an upland moa, a prehistoric bird that had vanished from the earth centuries earlier. The upland moa was one of several species of moa birds which were endemic to New Zealand. DNA analysis published by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences suggests that the first moa appeared around 18.5 million years ago, and there were at least 10 distinct species. These magnificent birds were exterminated in what's been described as the most rapid human-facilitated megafauna extinction in history. The initial discovery of moa remains dates back to 1839, when John W. Harris, a flax trader and a natural history enthusiast, received an unusual fossilized bone from a member of an indigenous Maori tribe. The bone was sent to Sir Richard Owen at the Hunterian Museum in London. Owen, puzzled by the bone for 4 years, eventually concluded that it belonged to an unknown species of giant bird. His hypothesis was initially met with skepticism, but subsequent discoveries of numerous bone specimens validated his theory. Since Harris's initial find, thousands of moa bones have been unearthed, alongside some astonishing mummified remains such as the Mount Owen claw. These preserved specimens, often found in dunes, swamps, and caves, still exhibit soft tissue, muscle, skin, and even feathers. The preservation process likely involved desiccation, particularly in naturally dry environments like caves with a constant dry breeze. Number 5. Shigir Idol. The Shigir Idol is one of the most significant pieces of prehistoric art in ancient Europe. This ancient wooden carving, which resides in a museum in Russia, has been dated to around 11,000 years old, making it significantly older than Stonehenge and twice as old as the Egyptian pyramids. Not only is it the oldest wooden statue in the world, but standing as tall as a 2-story building, it's also the tallest wooden statue from the ancient world. Discovered in January of 1890 in the Sverdlovsk region of Siberia in Russia, the Shigir Idol was found about 13.5 feet below the surface, preserved by the antibacterial properties of a peat bog. This peat layer acted as a time capsule, protecting the idol from decay. It was initially found in numerous fragments, which were painstakingly pieced together by Russian professor Dmitry Lobanov to form a figure approximately 9 feet tall. Unfortunately, almost 7 feet of the artifact were lost during political upheavals of the 20th century. Siberian archaeologist Vladimir Tolmachev later incorporated other unused fragments into the figure, increasing its height to 17 feet. The idol was carved from larch timber using tools made from beaver jaws, which were valued for their sharp and strong cutter teeth. The wooden surface of the idol is decorated with Mesolithic symbols and geometric motifs, such as chevrons, herringbone patterns, straight lines, and squiggly lines. These symbols are not merely decorative, but are also believed to hold significant meaning for the creators. Some researchers suggest that these markings could encode information about the creation of the world left by Mesolithic-era humans. If true, this would make the Shigir idol the world's oldest known code, dating back approximately 9,500 years. This idol has been radiocarbon dated to 7500 BC by the Institute of the History of Material Culture in St. Petersburg and the Institute of Geology in Moscow, confirming its status as the oldest known art of its type in the world. Despite extensive research, the full meaning and purpose of the Shigir idol remains a mystery. Number 4. Trundholm Sun Chariot. The Trundholm Sun Chariot is an iconic bronze and gold artifact that was unearthed from a bog in Denmark in 1902. Belonging to the Nordic Bronze Age, this artifact consists of a bronze horse, a bronze disc adorned with a thin sheet of gold on one side, and 6 four-spoked bronze wheels. Discovered on the southern Danish island of Zealand by a farmer who initially thought it was a toy, the chariot quickly became a national treasure upon its identification by the National Museum of Denmark. Believed to have been created around 1400 BC, the Trundholm Sun Chariot is over 3,400 years old. According to the National Museum, it's one of Scandinavia's earliest examples of the horse being used as a draft animal. Experts believe the chariot was crafted using the lost wax method. The sun disk is decorated with spirals, a common motif in Nordic craftsmanship, with one side gilded to represent the sun during the day, and the other side left dark to depict the sun's journey through the night. In 1998, nearly a century after the artifact's discovery, archaeologists returned to the site with metal detectors and unearthed 21 additional parts. These discoveries have allowed conservationists to reconstruct a more complete picture of the original artifact. Similar artifacts from Scandinavia replace the horse with ships or fish, among other creatures, reflecting the belief that the horse pulled the sun across the sky during the day and through the underworld at night. Historians believe priests used the chariot during the rituals to illustrate the sun's voyage. The Trundholm Sun Chariot is a remarkable artifact, and whether it functioned as a calendar remains uncertain. Its resemblance to solar imagery from other cultures does suggest a shared understanding of the cosmos, expressed uniquely by different societies. Number 3. The Sumerian King List. The Sumerian King List is one of the most fascinating and mysterious artifacts ever recovered from ancient sites of Sumer in southern Iraq. This ancient manuscript, written in the Sumerian language, is a comprehensive register of the kings and neighboring regions, detailing their names, reign lengths, and the locations of their reigns. What sets this list apart is its blend of mythical pre-dynastic rulers with historical figures known to have existed. The first fragment of this 4,000-year-old cuneiform tablet was discovered in the early 1900s by German-American scholar Hermann Hilprecht at the site of ancient Nippur, with his findings published in 1906. Since then, at least 18 other versions of the king list have been found, most dating from the second half of the Isen dynasty, from 2017 to 1794 BC. While no two documents are identical, the common material across all versions indicates they stem from a single, ideal account of Sumerian history. The king list is invaluable for its reflection of ancient traditions and its chronological framework of Sumerian kingship periods. It's also shown remarkable parallels to accounts in the Bible's Genesis. The list begins with the divine origin of kingship. Early dynastic rulers are described with fantastically long reigns, some spanning thousands of years. Notable figures like Etana, Lugalbanda, and Gilgamesh, who are featured in Sumerian and Babylonian mythology, appear on the list. The earliest kings on the list are often described as reigning for a total of 241,000 years before a flood, which swept over the land. After the flood, the list continues with the kings who ruled for much shorter periods, mirroring the biblical account of human lifespans before and after the Great Flood in Genesis. The Sumerian king list remains a perplexing mystery. Why did the Sumerians combine myth and history in this manner? What's the significance of the parallels with Genesis? Why were the early kings described as ruling for such extraordinary lengths of time? Well, these questions continue to puzzle researchers. Number 2. The writings of Rongorongo. During the 19th century, the discovery of ancient artifacts containing symbols added to the mystery of Easter Island, known for its iconic giant monolithic statues called moai. These symbols, known as the Rongorongo script, appear to be a form of writing, but their meaning has never been deciphered. The script was first discovered by Eugene Hérault, a Roman Catholic missionary who arrived on Easter Island on January 2, 1864. Now, the name Rongorongo comes from the Rapa Nui language, meaning to recite, to declaim, to chant out. The symbols were found etched into irregularly shaped wooden tablets, as well as on a chieftain's staff, a birdman statuette, and 2 Ramiro ornaments. Now, these artifacts were weathered, burned, or otherwise damaged when they were found, adding to the challenge of deciphering it. The age of the tablets is uncertain, as direct dating has been limited. They're believed to have originated around the 13th century, coinciding with the period of extensive forest clearing on the island. However, this dating is speculative, as the inhabitants may have preserved some trees specifically for making the wood tablets. One glyph resembles a palm tree, thought to be the Eastern Island palm, which disappeared from the island's pollen record in 1650. Now, this suggests that the script could be at least that old. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the Rongorongo script, its discovery remains a critical key to understanding the ancient civilization of Easter Island. Deciphering the codes may eventually reveal answers about the collapse of the island's civilization. However, for now, the tablets remain a mysterious symbol of a lost past, adding to the allure of Easter Island. The mystery of the Rongorongo writings highlights the broader enigma of Easter Island itself. Will we truly ever understand the full story behind these glyphs and the civilization that created them? For now, the script continues to intrigue and baffle researchers, keeping the secrets of Easter Island tantalizingly out of reach. Number 1. Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe, a Turkish term meaning hill with a belly, stands as one of the most interesting and revolutionary archaeological discoveries of the modern era. In 1994, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt and his team began uncovering findings at the site that they fundamentally altered our understanding of Stone Age societies. Dating back 11,500 years, Göbekli Tepe challenges the long-held belief that Stone Age humans were solely nomadic hunter-gatherers who roamed the earth without permanent settlements. The site features large, T-shaped pillars adorned with intricate animal carvings, massive stone rings, and numerous rectangular rooms, many of which are believed to have held religious significance. This evidence suggests that Göbekli Tepe may be the world's oldest known religious complex, potentially marking it as a pivotal site in the origins of religion. The site's monumental architecture is really baffling because it predates known evidence of hunter-gatherers constructing large monuments or buildings. The discovery implies a previously unrecognized level of societal organization and technological capability among these early humans. Nearby Mount Karaca Dağ is believed by geneticists to be the birthplace of many of today's cultivated grains. This proximity has led to the theory that Göbekli Tepe represents a transitional period in human history, showcasing the initial steps of nomadic cultures towards farming, which eventually led to permanent settlements. Despite the 1-acre excavation site already revealing much, Göbekli Tepe is believed to extend an additional 22 acres, promising even more discoveries and insights. The implications of its existence are profound. It suggests that complex societal, religious, and architectural developments happened much earlier than previously thought, prompting a reevaluation of the timeline and progression of human civilization. The site's purpose and the reasons for its eventual abandonment remain subject of intense speculation and study. It continues to captivate researchers and offers a glimpse into the prehistoric world that defies conventional understanding. Its discoveries raise more questions than answers, inviting ongoing exploration and debate about the true nature of early human societies. As archaeologists and historians uncover more about this ancient site, we may edge closer to understanding the truth behind Göbekli Tepe and its place in human history. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thank you to our channel members.